junior students, their academic accomplishments for the year. It's always a wonderful opportunity to have teachers, parents, friends, and students get together and acknowledge their hard work or perseverance during the academic year. I'd also like to remind everyone to please silence any cell phones you have and keep the whispering or talking down to an absolute minimum. The preference being that we don't talk and recognize all of our classmates and students during this award ceremony. I'd like to have Mr. Avery and the Blue Notes come up and sing the national anthem, please. Who have taken the time to want to honor our students. So for all the LHS staff that took the time to do this, thank you for all of your work. So next we'll have Mr. Dufour, and then we'll begin the academic awards.
Good morning and welcome everyone. Very proud to put this event together with a lot of other folks that helped out to give out well over 70 awards this morning to students who are being recognized for their academic success and for other civic and social successes in the classroom. So you all deserve an initial round of applause. Thank you for your hard work. We're going to go a little bit out of order. I'm going to have one teacher come up first from the science department because he felt strongly to give this award this morning, but he does have a class. So from our science department, Mr. Tony Levin. Good morning, thank you. So I wish to recognize a student who is both in my academic advisory group as well as in my chemistry physics class. And she's never been afraid to share her ideas and show her intelligence. She's helped me immeasurably with her wit and her positive attitude and her thank you very much, sir. I hope she becomes a teacher one day and passes on what she knows and that great attitude to her students for years and years. For diligence and positivity, this goes to Sabrina Pichette. Our second presenter, representing the math team, is Karen Cho.
Thank you. The math team had 11 students this year, 2 of whom are actually juniors. So if Courtney Cowett and Maggie Ello, please come on.
Representing our ELL department, giving the Access Test Award, Mr. Jim Cook.
The Access Test is required by the state for any student whose first language is something other than English. We had 2 juniors this year that got a perfect score and are fully English proficient. Halima Aden and 2 Nuya.
So now we're going to start with the academic departments. We'll start with English. So I'll just remind teachers what I will do is I will introduce the department and the first teacher, and then I would ask the teachers to come up and say their the words about the award winners, and then to please introduce the next presenter in the program, if you would please. So from our English department, our first presenter is Miss Noelle Auger.
For this first student, I don't think that I've ever seen her without a smile on her face. Her positive energy is contagious, and her work ethic is unstoppable. When I first started working here, this was one of my first students to stop by my office after school for some extra help. This is when she told me some of the challenges she's faced in life. And from that moment, I've always been impressed at her positive, hardworking attitude and her ability to excel so strongly in her academics. This award is Certificate of Academic Excellence, and I am pleased to give this to Khadija Tawani. My second award goes to a student who has shown me extreme dedication through her hard work and involvement with the school. In communicating and advocating for herself, this student has continuously shown me that she puts her academics first and foremost. She works hard in class and has always maintained a leadership demeanor. Not only has this student shown her dedication through academics and sports, she has also expressed interest in dedicating herself to the junior class as a whole by running for class president. With that being said, I wish you the best with your future endeavors, and I'm pleased to grant this award of Most Dedicated to Gabrielle Bailey. And next up we have Susanna Lair.
Thank you. I'm actually presenting this award for Karen, who teaches English. She couldn't be here today. This award is being presented to a student for most improved. The student at the beginning of the year had a lot of difficulty with writing, and I'm sure a lot of our students do. However, he persevered and he worked hard and he got through it with a little bit of help, but now he's writing up a storm. So this student really deserves the most improved award. It's Jay Bennett. The next presenter will be Walter Gray.
All right, most diligent. According to Merriam-Webster, diligence is defined as persevering application, assiduity, or the attention and care required of a person. This young man approaches his assignments with this kind of attitude and stands out among his peers. Success in English is often determined by one's maturity and focus in class. I hope many students will recognize and emulate the quiet, attentive persistence of young men like Christopher Carter. All right, and for academic excellence, excellence comes in many forms. For one, it might be diligent attention to one's studies. For another, it may be thinking and expressing oneself truthfully and creatively. This young woman is a creative and intuitive thinker and writer. I know this because I read all 10,000 plus words of her writing this year. When asked to write journal entries of 100 words minimum, this young lady wrote an average of 520.9 words per entry. Thanks to Google for doing the math for me. Now, how many students out there can say that you do 5 times the minimum requirement on your assignments? My Academic Excellence Award for English 11 this year goes to Kiera. Next up is Jamie Yang.
So I have an award for a young lady who is diligent. It's the first day that I met this young one. She showed that she's a very conscientious and thorough student. And a lot of us, we kind of start out strong and then we lose steam, but not this student. She leaves her junior year just as committed and dedicated as she was the first day that she started with me. And this is Sierra Tuttle. And the next presenter will be James Sarah.
I'm going to start with the most dedicated award in my English 11 class. This student works hard every day. He always comes to class prepared and does his homework every day. He is quiet and unassuming. He doesn't usually volunteer to answer a question, but when I call on him, he almost always knows the answer. For his quiet and steady perseverance, my most dedicated award goes to Abdurrahman Dekau. Next up is the Most Improved Award. This student had a rough start this year, but second semester, he hit the ground running, and he not only got consistently good grades all second semester, he went to 21st Century every day after school and made up all of his missed work for the first semester. He's living proof that hitting bumps on the road of life can be overcome through hard work and strong resolutions. My Most Improved Award goes to Christopher Jackson. Now for academic excellence in my academic English course. This student's writing is eloquent, and when she hands in an essay, it is clearly self-edited. She has consistently performed at the top of her game all year. My academic excellence award goes to Susan Johnson. This next student works hard every day. She's performed at her best all year, and her English grades show it. She participates actively in class and speaks her mind. And my most dedicated award in English, academic English this year goes to, and stay where you are, I will bring this to you when I'm done, Halima Aiden. Now on to AP English. This is a tough call because I have so many outstanding AP students, or APs as I like to call them. I'd like to give out about 20 awards to these classes, but I have one to give out, and it goes to another quiet and unassuming student. He doesn't talk much, at least in my class, but when he does and when he writes, he usually says something eloquent. My academic excellence award goes to Julian Marley. My last award today is for outstanding leadership. This student is outgoing, social, funny, and academically serious at the same time. She shows others that learning can be fun. She speaks thoughtfully and listens to others. She's also the editor-in-chief of next year's yearbook. My outstanding leadership award goes to Jazzy Dunas. And our next presenter is Sarah Spider.
two awards are for two students in my English 11 class that meets Blue Period 3, which is next. And two very different students, but both really great. The first award is for a student who actually struggles a lot with reading and writing, and has gifts in other areas like math and science and engineering. But this student always listens very attentively and carefully and absorbs a lot by being quiet. So I have an award for most patient for Michael Philadelphia. My next award is for Most Improved, the same class. This young lady is incredibly diligent, emailing me from home when she's sick, and even delivering to me this very morning a late assignment. This student, I think, succeeds almost in spite of herself. So I hope that she continues to believe in her academic ability because it is significant. Most Improved in English Language Arts goes to Rebecca Wheeler. Most Improved Awards are really fun to give because it's just really satisfying for a teacher to see a student struggle and get through some roadblocks and do really, really well. And this student has done that consistently. She started the year in one place and is ending the year with an A average, completing every assignment on time with a lot of excellence. This award for Most Improved is for Muslimo Abdullahi. Academic excellence. This young man is very quiet, he's very dignified, he never calls attention to himself, but almost always has, if not the right answer, then one really worth listening to. For academic excellence in English, I'd like to honor Joseph Halawat.
I don't see Mr. McKenna in the audience, so I will present his award on his behalf. So for Mr. Mark McKenna's recognition of outstanding leadership in Mr. McKenna's English class, I'd like to present this award to Bailey Charest. So on to our music department, and representing our music department today is Miss Jenna Nelson.
Hello. I have a couple awards to present. First, I'm going to do one for a junior string orchestra who has worked very hard this year, and I would like to recognize her consistent achievement and musicianship. This award in academic excellence in music is for Alicia Gregoire. Next, I'm going to recognize a junior in band as most dedicated, because although his antics and varying enthusiasm can occasionally get on my nerves. There's really no question that he's very dedicated, that music is his life, and that he can be relied upon to contribute in both concert bands and jazz ensembles. This is Kent Mayerson. Mr. Avery, the chorus teacher, couldn't be here during this period. I'm going to recognize a couple of chorus students on his behalf. These are for academic excellence in music for Kylie Ellis and Alexis Gerard.
Thank you, Ms. Nelson. Now on to our mathematics department, and the first presenter is Ms. Renee Gray.
my pre-calculus honors class for academic excellence, Skylar Cadet. And my other award, I have 4 sections of Algebra 2 academic. And this student, I had her last year as a student in the previous course, and I have her again this year. And both years she's shown outstanding ability and effort in the class. So I'd like to present this year's award for Algebra 2 to Stella Avera. Next, I'd like to introduce Mr. Kinney.
One of the most difficult parts of all of this is figuring out who to give awards to, because there are so many that we could recognize. Picking just a few is a very tough job. This first student showed a high level of achievement throughout the year, always asking questions, always making sure they understood all of the concepts in Algebra 2, for academic Algebra 2. Actually carried a very high grade average throughout the year, always succeeded on assessments, never afraid to ask questions. And this award for academic excellence goes to Chase Willett. My second award, I believe was supposed to get it last period, but that's okay, because I know she's in the gym now. Another student who carried an average of 99 throughout the year. Probably should have had 100, just didn't have a very good teacher. This student, again, worked very hard throughout the year, always helpful to others in class. Kind of served as a second teacher at times. Again, not afraid to ask questions, and certainly makes me a better teacher through her hard work and keeping me on my toes to make sure that I know what I'm doing. And this award goes to Teresa Swanson. Next is Ms. Garnett.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us to celebrate your students here at LHS. Like many have said before me, it's difficult to make these choices when we have so few awards that we're able to give. But I have 2 awards to give for my pre-calculus students this year. The first is the Most Improved Award, but I just want to preface this by saying sometimes improvement isn't best measured by a huge jump in the student's quarter grades. My recipient this year for Most Improved is a student who actually began the year strong. She had very respectable quarter grades for both quarter 1 and quarter 2. And what I noticed in her over the course of the year is improvement in her approach to the content. So this student had a marked change in how she studied. She displayed an increased persistence over the year. She had a difference in her use of resources. She used her resources very efficiently to prepare and study. communication with her teacher. I was very impressed with her. By the end of the year, her and I were communicating via email on almost a regular basis, and that definitely contributed to improvement in her grades. I think these skills will definitely contribute to her continuing studying mathematics and other content areas, and my most improved award goes to Sierra Blanchard. And my second award this morning is for excellence in pre-calculus. And if any of you have taken pre-calculus, you know that it's hard to attain. The award goes to a student who has been unflinchingly consistent throughout the year in the course. It's been a difficult course for a lot of students, but she has shown that it's not a challenge that she can't overcome. She has been consistent in her excellence in performance, and she's been committed to other things this year, sports and extracurricular activities. But the skills that she's learned will certainly continue to support her as she studies more mathematics in the future, and that is more than a lot of sense.
I did have one student earlier that was not able to make it down. I didn't notice she just scooted down. So again, I'd like to honor a student for pre-calculus honors course, excellence in mathematics, Skylar Godet. And she did get her CPR certification. Next, I'd like to call up Mrs. Singler.
Hello again. This time I'm presenting an award to a student for the most dedicated award in math because he's constantly trying to improve his skills. He's got a great math mind. But when he has difficulty with the concept, he keeps trying until he gets it right. I can always count on him to do his best work. I'm pleased to present this most dedicated award to Jay Bennett. The next presenter is Mrs. Singler. Go from one struggling, giving up on math, to one who turn things around and work hard to succeed. She's focused in class and does not hesitate to ask for help, either inside the classroom or outside after school. Proud of the way she discovered that task behind her and accepted the challenge that was given her. My most improved LP2 student is Arbe King.
Thank you to all the math teachers. We're going to move on to modern and classical languages. And our first presenter is Ms. Laura Corey.
Most students choose not to continue taking an elective course when their requirements get hard. This student chose to challenge herself and work twice as hard. and her efforts have paid off. It is my pleasure to present the award Most Improved in Spanish to DJ-BrianC. Student does it all. She takes many challenging classes, possesses many talents, volunteers for after-school activities, and still manages to excel in Spanish. I am delighted to present the award of Academic Excellence in Spanish to Arisa Shaw.
Leadership Award to a young lady who always kept her positive attitude regardless of what the circumstances, given circumstances. She always kept her enthusiasm. She always was willing to do whatever, was asked, with any complaint, with any hesitation, and always in a good mood, always willing to do whatever we were doing, always organizing kids too and helping me with the classroom if I needed some help. She was just very positive all the time. And the most outstanding leadership award goes to Michaela Ball. Thank you, and our next presenter is Mr. Forio.
Welcome to this event. I hope you can hear me. I have to echo the sentiments of a few other people. This is an incredibly difficult challenge. I always present it when the administrators and Mr. Newport tell us we can only pick two. Because I would have picked many, many students. We have so many great students here at Lewiston High School. So I tip my hat to those of you who have gotten awards and to those who did. I'm sure many more of you were very deserving. The first award goes to a young man who, up until last Wednesday, I would have said stick to Latin and not into rapping. But this young man is an incredible rapper, incredible student. He is the life of the class. He has maintained 100 average. He can be the clown, but he can also be a very intelligent, hardworking young man. And I would like to recognize Mohammed Mahmoud. I got to tell you, great group of kids, and it was really hard picking just two of them. I could have easily picked 4 or 5. I'd like to recognize this young man who has been with me for 3 years. That's already a challenge for him. He's positive, he's an upbeat individual, brings so much positive energy to our class. He has maintained an A average, A+ average, tremendous ability with translating Latin. I can always count on hearing Russell Gland's voice during our translation. So Russell, congratulations.
years. She's quiet in class. She's an incredibly powerful student. Again, another A+ student. Works hard. She is a great team player. She's an excellent athlete. She just performed at the main state track. Had 2 firsts, a second, and a 4th, I believe. Highly critical thinking skills. Does a great job. I'd like to recognize Jen Martin.
From our phys ed department, Ms. Carrie Quagliaroli.
Okay, I want to start off by saying that I'm giving 4 awards today, but I could have easily given many more because there are a lot of great kids in this class. In my female fitness class, I started a new initiative this year to introduce healthy eating through gardening. 2 of my students in particular took it upon themselves to really be the leaders with this initiative and tend to plan every class, sometimes staying after dismissal time. They both seem to enjoy this new gardening experience, and I really appreciated their enthusiasm and dedication. I present the Green Thumb Awards to Bianca Susi and Rebecca Keller. In my Fitness for Life class, 2 of my students in particular really appreciated and encouraged discussions about nutrition. These 2 students and I often walked and jogged along each other so that we could talk about healthy eating options. Ironically, many conversations revolved around Dunkin' Donuts products, which of course I would critique the ingredients for them. My male student took it upon himself to come and see me on his own time so that I could give him some good nutrition articles and resources. And my female student and I usually discussed her morning caffeinated beverage before class in the locker room. I really enjoyed having both of these students in my class, and I hope that they both continue to make healthy eating and exercise a priority in their lives. So I present the most inquisitive awards to Kylie Ellis and Abdi Fatah.
Department, and our first presenter is Mr. Harry Ben.
So I have two young ladies that I'd like to recognize for academic excellence in honors chemistry. And we're both very different. One is very quiet and reserved, and the other is a firebrand. Get out of the way. And although they're both so different, they're both common quality is that they bring an excellence and a detail and consistency to everything that they do. So, Michaela Ball and Barbara Rem.
student has been a silent powerhouse the entire school year. He has continuously put forth an amazing effort. He is attentive to detail and willing to persevere when work is difficult. He is conscientious. He has been willing to stay after school to work on refining skills, advocates for himself, seeks extra help when needed, and strives to put forth his best daily. He has amazed me with his drive, his motivation, and his willingness to take on challenges in the classroom setting and as a member of the indoor track team this winter. It is with great pleasure that I present Abdi Rashid Abukar with the Most Diligent Award.
I'd like to call up next Mr. Tyson Weisfeld.
Good morning, everyone. My words, sophomores, were a little lengthy, so I'll keep this short and sweet. First of all, what Mrs. Allen said. Yeah, same thing here. No. I have two people that I want to award. There are numerous possibilities. This is for chemistry and physics. So, all of you who do not get one, believe me, I love you. I enjoyed working with you this year. But two stick out in particular as being hardworking, conscientious, detail-oriented. Did I mention hardworking? Yeah. And dedicated to not just learning the material, but to applying it. For example, we recently built some paper roller coasters. One of these two made an special point of building a roller coaster that had exactly one straight track. You can put it on the plans, like only one? Pretty cool. And the other student was equally like-minded, hardworking, detail-oriented, often would say, once the bell had rung to finish up work, and if these two don't know who they are already, I would please like to have Grigori Abdirahman and Kira MacArthur please come forward.
Star Wars thing. Oh yes, no fanfare for you. There you go. Now where's Johori? Is Johori here? Nothing. Oh man, all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my colleague and content narrator, Ms. Roy.
She has a class right now. They are for her Physics 11 class. So the first student is a young man who exemplifies academic excellence and diligence as well as good citizenship. He is extremely talented in science, and Ms. Perry admires most about him how unassuming he is about his excellence. He is also willing to help others in a positive manner and shares his insights and methods about the course with others. He stands out as one of the nicest and kindest students that Mrs. Perry has had the privilege to teach in many years. The award for Physics 11 for the person you want most in your lab group and academic excellence is to Russell Glam. There's a student who holds herself to a higher standard. She works, her work is impeccable and thorough, and she shows a deep understanding for the material. Sometimes when students are talking in class, as a teacher, you tune in a little bit just to hear what they have to say. And it makes Miss Perry smile because this student is always deep in debate about how to tackle the next problem. She cares and shows that to the members of her lab classes. The award for Physics 11 for most outstanding leadership goes to Sierra Belanger. All right, I have an award for some students in my classes, which this year's been awesome. So in Bio 2 and Anatomy, I could have given an award to a lot of students. So thank you guys for your hard work, and I challenge you to stay dedicated as you go into your senior year. So first, in my Bio 2 class, I have a student who is very patient and kind and is the only junior in an all-senior class. She took on this challenge and is very conscientious about turning in all her work. And she also is consistently a great lab partner and friend to other students in the class. This award for most diligent goes to Alicia Gregoire. I have 2 awards for students in my anatomy class. The first one goes to a student who is very independent and consistently is dedicated to completing all her coursework in anatomy. Any teacher would appreciate how much of a hard worker she is. The award for most consistent in anatomy goes to Jasmine Fournier. Finally, in anatomy, this student enjoys anatomy and also enjoys completing all associated work with the class. Her homework is always done on time and is well completed. Because of that, she always finds a little bit of time to chat with everybody who's sitting near her, and for the most part, I'm okay with that. For most diligent, I would like to give an award to Victoria Bello.
Ms. Roy. And our last presenter this morning from Social Studies, Mr. Keith Levesque.
First of all, I want to thank you all for being so attentive. This took longer than we expected, so my B2 class is really disappointed that they're not able to present today, but you all better be ready on Wednesday. I guess the primary purposes of good social studies education are to help young people think for themselves, make informed and reasoned decisions, and to be active and engaged citizens. I'm a firm believer that intelligence alone will not bring you success. Success takes effort, takes self-discipline, and good character. Both students that I chose for recognition have put in a consistent effort all year, both in and outside of the classroom. They take pride in their work. Both are actively involved in the community and have a desire to excel. Normally I'd introduce each student individually, but these 2 students are so similar that I decided to recognize them together. I noticed their mothers are even sitting together in the audience. Both these students do exceptional work, as many of you do, but what set these 2 young ladies apart is their desire to learn from their mistakes and improve their skills. These students would actually read the comments that I made in the margins of their essays, and put these comments apart and revise their essays and get them back in. They consistently got their work in on time and put in their best effort. But what impresses me most about them is their involvement in the community. Aside from their active involvement in National Honor Society and various other LHS clubs and activities, Denny Federico and Courtney Cowett both serve in leadership positions. For both leadership positions on the Lewiston Youth Advisory Council. I run into them at various community events, including candidate forums at City Hall, and at a protest against a Ho Chi Chin sign. Denny and Courtney are actively trying to improve our community and its image. So for your continuous strive for excellence and your exemplary contributions to Lewiston and LHS, thank you. Denny and Courtney.
So in closing, this class is relatively special to me because I had a lot of these kids who came up for awards today for a little over half the year before I started my transition to the main office. So I'm proud to say that I will continue with you guys as your senior administrator next year and see you folks all the way through to graduation. It's scary that we're just about 75% of the way there, and shortly, once the seniors march on Friday night at the Coliseum, then you guys will technically be seniors. So it goes by really fast. And I'll just say, next year it's really important in the fall to get off to a good start and to maintain that good start throughout the year. I want to thank all the teachers and staff. I want to thank all the family and friends for coming. Thank you very much. Have a great day.